Hello, this is Cholera bringing you set 2 of the World Cyber Games Korean qualifiers, round of 8 between Stork and ForGG, and Stork making a very nice comeback despite ForGG pushing him to the limit in Game 1 on Blue Storm. Game 2 here we have my favorite map, not my favorite map, but certainly one of my favorite maps, Troy. We have Stork spawning in teal at the 7 o'clock, ForGG spawning in red at the 11 o'clock. And I really hope in the World Cyber Games this year they use maps like Blue Storm, Troy, and Andromeda instead of the old musty maps that they've been playing for years and years, like Gaia or Paranoid Android or maps like that. Really old maps and really quite boring, to be honest. Especially after watching years and years of the World Cyber Games, you know, it's just not very exciting. Looks like we're gonna see well, a pretty interesting Terran versus Protoss here. ForGG needs to really show something special here on this map. This map is Protoss favorite statistically, so really he's going to need to do something interesting. Flash tried to do something interesting against Much in Game 2 of the best of 3 that I just casted 2 days ago, and you guys should all check it out. Very interesting build. Not sure how successful it was. You'll see. And Stork looks like he's building that pylon. We'll see if he decides to build a gateway next to it or go for another 14 Nexus. I think that'll be actually ill-advised in this map because it is quite dangerous. You can lose those assimilators and you can get locked into your base. For those of you who need a refresher on Troy, those assimilators, those neutral assimilators, if you lose one, only small units can go through, and if you lose both, no units can pass through. Except for ghosts, actually, because they are just so cool. It looks like both players are going to scout in the right direction here with their first scouting worker. And we'll see if ForGG decides to do something like a fast rush on this map. That is certainly viable. If the Protoss goes for a fast expand, that is very successful often. You could really just try to kill off one of those assimilators really quickly with a tank and a couple of Marines, and then basically the Protoss will lose the game. Unless, of course, you're a player like Best, or I forgot who beat Nada off of, I think, actually, The Rock even beat Nada once on this map after being locked out of his natural expansion using shuttles. Pretty much all shuttles and reavers, and then another player I think won with just carriers. Crazy stuff like that, but it certainly is possible to win even if you're locked out. I think it's much more possible for the Protoss player, although C actually demonstrated that he could win against Daezang back a few months ago when he was locked into his base, and he won for all dropship Goliath. Really interesting build, and still won because you can still pick up island expansions, of course, and you can make assimilators. By killing assimilators, you can create islands of your own and force the opponent, who probably is behind on tech, to prevent him from basically attacking your units. And it looks like ForGG's managed to seal himself in with those SCVs. He really doesn't want Stork to scout, but there still is that probe, and now there's that Zealot trying to pound away. Nice micro there by ForGG, though, not losing any of his Marines or SCVs there, but he's going to be scouted for a little bit longer, and this could slow down a possible 2-factory push, because he doesn't want Stork to know it's coming. And so basically, if he was going for a 2-factory, he should have placed his second factory by now, and he hasn't, because he probably doesn't want Stork to scout it. But Stork is all in his base right now still with that Zealot, and that's the problem here. Actually, Stork retreating with the Zealots. Interesting. Maybe he's going to actually try to kill the assimilators. That could be a possibility. But looks like ForGG is building a Vulture here, so that probably will not be very successful. Excuse me. And looks like Vulture moving out now for ForGG. If he can get lucky, he will get into Stork's base again, like in last game. And this is what I meant. Stork showing a very resilient play last game. He got harassed very early on by Vulture, which picked off 3 probes. He lost his Nexus to that annoying location in the middle of the map where the Terrans can shell, and yet he still won. Absolutely brilliant. Looks like Stork managed to kill off the Vulture at the cost of both of his Zealots. And now he really doesn't have much of an offensive force. Now, here's the question. Will ForGG go for the fast expand, or will he take the opportunity to do something sneaky, like go for the second factory, or even plant a starport or something like that? Interesting enough, a pylon being built at the 12 o'clock position, and a hidden expansion for Stork. And Stork is going to seal himself in, so pulling a luxury, if I may make that comparison, on this map, pulling a luxury because Luxury did that against Flash, of course, sealed him off, got a hidden expansion that Flash couldn't attack, and picked up his third gas very easily. Although this time Stork is expanding there before even picking up his natural. It's actually a smart idea because now he's not so afraid of units rushing in and killing his natural or killing his bases assimilators, main bases assimilators. And we're still seeing only one factory for ForGG, so I assume ForGG is going for an expand after this, after he secures his perimeter with 2 tanks maybe and a bunker with Marines if he wants to. 1 Dragoon raining inside the base, smartly enough. That's going to at least prevent a small draw from getting somewhere, but not necessarily much. Oh, and Stork being brilliant here. He's playing, oh man, 1 base into carriers. Stork, you dinosaur monster, you pterodactyl monster. Oh god, Stork is going for the air like a pterodactyl dinosaur-Toss does. And wow, he's taking a lot of damage on one of his assimilators in his base. Could he be deciding to actually kill it off himself, make 2 islands off his main base, and just go for 2 gas, barely 2 base carriers? I think that is what Stork's going to do, actually. ForGG has seen the assimilators going down. He probably has suspect Stork is going for something sneaky, but maybe, just maybe, ForGG doesn't know that Stork is going for a crazy fast expand. He might be thinking Stork is just going for some kind of 1 base DT drop, 1 base reverx drop, in which case he will be overly defensive. He won't go for dropships. He certainly will not be able to detect 12 o'clock position because he won't get scanners early enough. He'll build turrets all over the place. And we're seeing ForGG's first-person view. He only knows, the only piece of information he knows, because he doesn't have that scanner and he doesn't have any floating abilities, the only thing he knows is that Stork hasn't taken his natural. And what is your assumption when Protoss hasn't taken his natural? It's that he's going for a tech rush. Usually dropships with DTs or with reavers. You don't expect the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. In this case, the Spanish Inquisition is going for 2 base carriers. WTF, and coming from a proxy direction. OMG, WTF. Just absolutely incredible play. +1 air attack coming from Stork. Forge going up for Stork. Stork is a monster pterodon. Oh, but ForGG flying the barracks across, looking for hidden stuff, and he is going to see this. We'll see if ForGG reacts in time. He doesn't have a starport up. I know that for sure because there's no reason for him to get a starport up this early. Stork going to wall himself in. Stork has walled himself in inside of his base. He does not have a shuttle, so he is going to be relying on 2 gas carriers. This is all going to be about the element of surprise, and it's going to be a little bit about luck here. Will ForGG spot this in time? If ForGG can spot this in time, he has a chance, just a chance to get the Goliaths up. If he can't spot this in time, he probably will lose the game, and I'm going to call it for Stork if he can't detect this, because there's no way he expects this. Finally, the Academy going up. Finally, the Army going up, actually. If he can get a couple of Goliaths out, just a couple, he will be able to deal with this. I think just barely deal with this. Look at him, he's so suspicious. He knows something's going on. He's sending out scouts in all directions, messengers in all directions, trying to figure out what's going on, but critically he hasn't checked at 12 o'clock. Just bad luck by him. Probably will scan it though, one of the first locations, and once he notices the assimilators are down there, he's going to have to say, OMG, something's going up over there, and he's probably going to scan it and try to figure out what's going on there, and he will see this, but it might just be too late now. Stork is just so creative in this game, showing that he still has what it takes to innovate and to dominate. Really, I think this is going to work out, but a starport going up, actually, interesting enough, fairly early starport from ForGG, maybe going to build a Wraith to counter some kind of dropship play, shuttle play rather. No, fast science facility. So afraid perhaps of fast arbiters, maybe? He is so confused. Just look at him. I mean, he doesn't really show it in his face, but I think he is befuddled. He is mystified. He is confused. He is obfuscated. He does not know what is going on. And ForGG is in the dark. Really in the dark, and this is one way of exploiting the Terran fast expand. Stork has perhaps not discovered, but he certainly has done it. And by the way, this reminds me so much of Pure versus was it Pure versus Flash? It was Pure versus a Terran player, C. Pure versus C, where C went for the 2 factory push on Plasma, and I was making fun of Pure because he went for two base carriers, and really it didn't work out for him, but who knows, this could work out for Stork, so maybe I shouldn't have been too hasty there. And ForGG now sees the carriers coming up. He has built a couple of Goliaths, actually. Somehow he expected this, even though he still doesn't know about the 12 o'clock. I guess his only conclusion was something from the air, and it is carriers from the air. So ForGG actually being a little bit prescient there, predicting that that Stork has gone for air, and this is really the sign of a very, very good pro gamer. Even without seeing it, he can guess it. He has a little bit of a pro gamer ESP, but really it's not ESP. It's just having played thousands and thousands upon thousands of games with every variation of tech build possible. He has detected this coming, and he will be able to deal with it for now. And actually, Stork may not pull off brilliance in this game. He may not win this game. And ForGG, unfortunately for him, does not have dropships. He can't use his ground forces to attack at all. Stork is at least safe because he's created 2 islands, and this is why I like Troy. It leads to interesting games like this. It leads to innovation, and I like maps that breed innovation. Really, it's nice. And Stork using the the sort of I guess you call them map artifacts very well, and he can pick off this dropship. Will Stork go for the dropship? No, looks like Stork didn't go for the dropship, aiming just for the glides, and he has 3 starports pumping. He has absolutely no other forces, and this is barely, I think this is basically the most you can pump, the fastest you can pump Alpha 2 bases if you neglect everything else, and of course Stork is neglecting everything else. He has no other expansions up. My voice is going down, but Stork is